We're live. So, I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to be present and consider the way things are. I have gotten vaccinated today. I'm not exactly sure what they put inside me. I think one of them is measles and polio, you know. No more measles and polio for me, thank you very much. And then there's another one as well. I wish I could tell you. I don't know if it's important, really. I went for my medical interview, and that was essentially the last box I needed to check before I can go over to the States. Of course, I need to go and do my interview at the consulate as well. But before I'm allowed to do that, I must have my medical interview. And before I can get my medical interview, I must have my American consulate interview already booked. And as I had it booked, I could go and do my I could do my medical interview. You're gonna have a sore arm. It is sore. You're not wrong, Sammers. I can feel it. But it's the way things are. Today's stream topic is supposed to be about going with the way things are, right? Very much so from this perspective of, instead of expecting the world to conform to your whims, to your will, to find genuine joy and happiness in the way things are, right? Weirdly enough, this whole process that I've been through has taught me that lesson more than many things in my life have been able to. I am not particularly thrilled in having to do paperwork. However, this whole process of doing paperwork with a change of life, with me being to be with my future wife, really has showed me that instead of really lamenting all of the money I had to pay and the vaccinations and the document gathering and the proof of finance and the letters of intent and the finding of my old birth certificate and so much ends, right? Instead of finding any resentment or resistance in this process, I really have accepted and found even a certain level of joy in going with it, in doing what is expected of me, in doing what is the way things are. And today I just had a few more moments like that where the process was so contrived, can be the right word, I think, layered, all right? I had to go and register myself. First, I had to go and introduce myself, and then they had to look for me. And most of the people that were there were actually refugees, right? People that are going to refugee over to America. And as a result, they don't have to pay for their own paperwork. So they were looking for me in the paperwork that was already paid for, and they couldn't find me. So instantly I was stressed. I was like, my name should be there. We did pay for it. I got the proof of payment literally this morning. I'm like, oh, it's paid for, must be there somewhere. And then it was all the way, literally the last name on the list. Last name on the list, oh. And he was like, oh, you paid for it yourself? He looks at me, I'm like, oh. And it was like, oh, okay, strange. Then I went to the little waiting area. I waited for my number to be called, went and sat down, and then had a conversation with the lady behind the glass. And then she tries to enter my details, and then she cannot find me on the system. So again, I go, oh no. And then she tells me that they're technically one of the newer approved physicians that are allowed to do medical interviews because there is an influx of people that now want to come to America, with the refugee thing being an option for people to do so. So they kind of are new, but they use a different system than the system that the American consulate uses. So they don't communicate with each other so they couldn't see me on their system. And then I was like, oh. And then I was like, no, no, no problem. We'll just do you manually. And then I wrote down all of my personal information, where it is I'll stay, where it is I stay here, where it is I'll stay there, numbers, previous countries that I've lived in, whole list of stuff. Write it out with my hand, slide underneath the glass. She takes it and data entries it for me. Then I went to go and pull blood. They took some of my blood, 1 milliliter per vial. There were 5 vials. I wonder, actually. Let's see if they can give me some information. I just did a medical interview, and they drew blood, and they put my blood in 5 little vials. Why 5? And what do each of them test for? I'm curious. Then after having my blood taken, all right, like literally with a syringe. It was so like, usually they like put it in and they have like those little tubies, and then they put those little chubby thingies, right? When I usually draw blood, that's the way I'm usually used to it. But they just put the needle in my arm and suck the blood right out of me. You were so cute. Thank you. I appreciate that. Howdy, y'all. Hey, Nancy. And then they put that blood into the little vials, 1 milliliter per pop. One of them is testing for syphilis. Shoo, ain't got none of that. HIV, ain't got none of that either. Hepatitis B, tuberculosis, ain't got that one either. They also did chest x-rays. And then general chemistry / safety panels, my blood glucose, my kidney or liver markers, to make sure there's no underlying major issues that would impact admissibility. There we go. Yeah, so I had that done. Then after that, I had to go and get my chest x-rayed again. I actually did go and get my chest x-rayed before. Apparently I don't have to do that, so that's a little bit of a loss, but c'est la vie. It's okay, these things happen. Then I went back from that building to the other building to have my doctor's, no. After the chest x-ray, I had to go and meet with a nurse. Then the nurse took my blood pressure, and then my blood pressure was high because I was in that state of like, I don't know if the coffee that I drank helped this morning. I probably could have opted out for that. Maybe that would have made it better as well, but blood pressure was a little bit high. She took my height. I grew. Maybe my hair helped me or something, but I grew a centimeter. Yeah, nice. I'm 179 centimeters, not 178 anymore. That's great. Was super stoked about that. Weighed me to check my weight as well, and then asked me a bunch of like routine questions that I answered. Then after that, I had to go to the doctor, and then I met what I literally told him directly as the most personable doctor that I've ever had the pleasure of being monitored, inspected by. Just such a nice guy, He had this mat underneath his keyboard, his desk mat. Why I feel like it's a desk mat, right? Yeah, let's call it desk mat. He had this desk mat that had these little cloudies on it, right? And those little cloudies were very much something that I knew what it was. And it was from the Naruto universe, right? And as soon as I saw it, I was like, this guy, animes. And then I go, nice Naruto mat. And then he goes, thanks. And I go, you probably get like one of two kinds, the people that tell you they know what that is and the people that tell you they don't. And he's like, yeah, I actually don't mind it. It like creates this baseline of almost like friendliness with the people that he knows, and like, of course he's a friendly doctor either way. I don't think he like is mean to the people that don't, but just so nice. And me and him hit it off. We had some conversations about my journey, about the work that I do, about health. I even connected with the whole conscious evolution thing with him, and he was like, yeah, we need to open our minds, was his exact word to me. And I'm like, yo, this doctor is freaking cool. He's also like, I'm guessing, maybe 32, right? I would be surprised if he's over 30 or under. I wanted to say I would be surprised if he's much older than 30. He's definitely not in his 40s, right? Like, youngish guy. Then I had to get naked, essentially, undressed, put a gown on. He looked at my hands. I wasn't shaking. He listened to my lungs. He checked my tonsils, I think, looked inside my throat, uh, shined a light in my eyes to see if I have pupils that dilate or whatever. And it was this experience of really comfort, right? Up until that point, I felt like the actual doctor appointment was the part that I was the most antsy about, right? Because I want to be perfect. I don't want anything to get in my way right now, right? I have a plan. I want to be with the person that I love. And he like set me at ease to the point where I was like, this is so nice. Then he asked for my freaking vaccination records, which I had, but for some reason it just wasn't in my file anymore. I think I might have put it in the printer to make copies thereof, and unfortunately, I think I left it in the printer, which is a big bummer. I wasn't very stoked about that part. But he said it wasn't a train smash, so he told me that there are two vaccines that you do need to routinely get again, technically. And then I did. Got those vaccines, and then they gave me a vaccination report, and then I was on my way again. Found myself back here, practiced the yoga just now. But it was a good day. I felt like, for the most part, it was significantly less painful slash stressful than I anticipated it would be. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Yeah. And it was this experience of, just again showing myself that I end up worrying more in my mind than I actually have to. Right? Like the blood pressure thing was the thing that was the most scary. And I like the nurse is like, chillax, bro. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to stress so much. What's the point of looking down your throat now when you could show up at customs and immigrations with half your undocumented family stuffed in behind your tonsils? I know that you're making a joke, Sam, but my tisms, my autism is like, huh? What? With half your undocumented family stuffed in behind your tonsils. As in, what's the point of checking all that now when anything could happen between now and when you come over? It's more a matter of like formalities. Like if you don't have a medical checkup before you go for your interview, then they don't know that you were at least in good health before, all right? You have to have at least been in kind of good health a little bit. Otherwise, they don't know. Yeah, I'd rather not, Sam. All right, like, can you not? Please? Thanks. There's enough for us to worry about right now. I don't need to worry about that stuff as well. Them like looking at my streams and was like, what? You critical of the current fractals? How about you stay in your country, asshole? Sam, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, pretty chill. All things considered, very chill, in fact. I did feel at ease for the most part. Can you not? You're fine. They already know I'm an agitator. Yeah. And they know I'm a peacekeeper. I keep the peace. I am a conversationalist. I talk to all kinds. You can be hypercritical of me, and I will listen to you as well. You're white, Meld. No need to worry. It's kind of true. It's actually kind of true. Seems ridiculous that this is the state of reality that we're in right now. But you're not wrong on that much. Doesn't make me stress any less. I am still technically a foreigner. And I am very pro-America. And I can say that with honesty in my heart. I've shared in length my fractals with you friends of what I believe. I grew up in Africa, yo. I have seen what bad is. I have seen corruption you friends cannot fathom. I have seen infrastructure falling apart around me. I have seen 12 to 14 hours of power outages per day for weeks on end, where they just, I mean, there's not enough electricity. Yeah, I have seen extreme medical malpractice, all right, where they like my literal grandpa. They killed my grandpa with medical malpractice. I never met him. He died when my dad was 6. They over-administered his morphine when he was getting a heart operation, I think. Dead. Right? Like, there are so many fractals for me to be grateful for, and you friends know me. That's the kind of fractal that I show up for. But of the two of them, Jovan is more likely to have trouble than he is. Yeah, that's actually something that we were worried about, Sam. That's kind of like why I'm being very protective, right? Jovan even shared with me as well that it makes her stress. It's going to be relatively okay for her to get here, but there's like a genuine low-hum worry that she'll be able to go back home, you know? And I feel like that is very sad. I trust, of course, that all will be fine. Everything will be resolved in divine order. Today's stream topic is literally about that. Understanding that there are forces at play in our universe. Hi, are you in the garden? I'm in a garden, technically. Popcho's garden. I was worried about coming back into this country after being in Europe. You too, Nancy. I've never asked Nancy, are you white? It never mattered to me, you know. It doesn't matter in this space what color you are, so. But I'm curious if that's part of why you worried, or were you worried just in general? Can we just take a moment to appreciate that? That Nancy has been a part of this community for, what, 4 years now? And not once has the topic of your skin color even like gotten close to being broached. Yeah, fuck yeah, our community is sick. Hi, are you in the garden? Yeah, Muhammadao. Gardens as we are. No, I'm Latina. The exact profile they want to take away. How about that? I, of course, didn't know, and it doesn't make me love you any less. I'm sorry, dear friend. I'm happy that you managed to get back in the country from Europe, and the fact that you told me that sets me a little bit at ease, right? Makes me feel, okay, good. Love is true. It really is wild. Thank you, Mojo, for letting me know. Is it better again? Sure do hope so. Right, even despite that, I think Japan is doubling down on not wanting people to immigrate to their country. Right, so despite the fact that they're literally actively seeing population collapse, they're still not really open to having people in their country anytime soon. I have a little spot in my pants that we back? Thank you. Thank you for letting me know, Mojo. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Right, so in that way, there is this like dual sword, if you will, where we need people in general, right? And the people that we need ideally have skills, are ideally intelligent, ideally well-mannered, ideally have ambition to add to a society positively. You know, and I feel like there are very few people that don't have those ambitions. But when you deal with billions of human beings, it's very easy for some percentage of those beings to have ill intent, right? To come to traffic, whatever, humans or substances, right? that have violent tendencies, that are literally fleeing prosecution from their countries to a country where their country doesn't have jurisdiction anymore, or where they won't be found, where their criminal record won't necessarily follow them in the same way. Right? And it's this weird dichotomy of, I think at the very least, a lack of trust. That's the, again, and I've said this to you friends before, the biggest problem that we're facing as a society right now is lack of trust, right? We have a very hard time trusting one another, trusting anything at all, right? And that's why I had to jump through all of the hoops that I had to jump through. Every single one of those hoops is another layer of trust, right? I had, again, just the police clearance thing. I had to get a police clearance from my country, and I had to get police clearance from any country that I lived in for longer than 6 months. All right, so like trust that I've never been convicted of crimes here, and then trust that I've never been convicted of crimes elsewhere. Then the vaccinations, trust, oh, and medical interview. They took my blood to test me for diseases, right? Trust that I'm not a sick person, that if I do come to your country, I won't bring any diseases, to your population, which again, I understand. Trust that there is enough finances to feed me when I do come to your country, right? Trust that there's a place for me to live. Trust that I will, in fact, do as I say and marry the person that I promised, right? In the timely manner that they expect of me. Trust that I have all of my documents in place. Trust that I was, in fact, born in the country that I said I was born in. Trust that I am, in fact, the person that I say I am, right? They literally took my passport and then looked at it and then asked me the information on my passport. They were like, how old are you? When were you born? What is your full names? Right? Holding it away from me. So many layers of trust. And I think that's the biggest bottleneck in our current system right now. It's like we don't know who we can trust, unfortunately. I am, of course, very bullish on decentralized identities, because in that way, we can start building the trust up again, right? Where instead of me having to ask, for instance, China's police, whether or not I am a trustworthy person, I can literally go online, and then with this decentralized identity system, with something called zero-knowledge proofs, ask the system, is Melt a criminal? And then the system can tell you, nah, Melt's a good guy. And it doesn't have to tell you my exact ID number or my exact proof of residence or the amount of money I have in my bank account. It can just let you know that yes, this question that you asked about trustworthiness is in fact a yes. COVID kicking my ass, but I will prevail. Stay healthy, friends. Stay hydrated. You got this. What's up? What do you think about ancient science of yoga? Magic 332. I am a certified yoga teacher. I have my 200-hour certification with Ensanita's Soul of Yoga. And after I finished my course, they employed me. Employ is a little bit relative. They contracted me to become a teacher for their studio. And I have been teaching essentially daily. I think I have like a 99.97% accuracy rate, right? I've done at least like 1,000 live streams for them, where I show up and I practice yoga. And I give my class to those that want to join me as well. And it has changed my life. Magic. It has taught me a lot about myself, about the resilience that there is within the human body. It has taught me a lot of the willingness to tune in with the self. All right. I do a hatha yoga practice, so it's not only asanas, the movements, it's also breath work at the same time. And it's nice. I've stayed very healthy for it. I am fit. I am in good shape. I have an 8-pack. I probably had the 8-pack before I did yoga, but it's visible now, all right? As I practice, it also has changed my relationship with food. I used to have a very bad relationship with food where, in so many words, I had an addictive nature to it, where I would have these booms and busts, where I would be very mindful, very strict with the things that I chose to eat. And then I would be very not strict, and I would eat as much sugar and deep fried stuff and chips as I can get my hands on. And then I would start feeling horrible, and my body would start telling me that it doesn't appreciate that. I would start being unattractive to myself. You know, my skin would get worse. My skin is not perfect right now, but my skin would get a lot worse. And then I would, of course, redouble down my efforts to actually take care of myself. And it's been this process of learning, right? The deeper ingrained a problem is, the harder it is to dig yourself out of it. And it took me years, took me at least 3 years of practicing yoga and learning how to take better care of myself before it really clicked, to say it in so many words, before I really actually was like, okay, I don't really know if I want to suffer my own stupidity anymore. And I got better. And I'm at a place in my life right now where I feel more mindful than I've ever been. And it's nice to be that way. My mom said this thing recently that I've been echoing in my own mind. Nothing tastes as good as looking good feels. All right? Feeling good feels even as well. And I've been thinking about that. Bless you again, Mojo. I hope you get better soon, dear friend. The space makes me feel better. Aw, can we just take a moment? Can you do this with me, Mojo? Place arms around yourself. Take a deep breath. Make that sound. There's something called VO2 max. It's even better if you can do it through your nose. Get some of that VO2 max in your body. Kick that COVID's ass. Kick it ass. And also the serotonin / oxytocin of actual self-touch. Such a great explanation. Kudos. Thank you for tuning in and listening, Magic, for asking a good question. How about you? Do you also practice yoga? What are your thoughts about the ancient science of yoga? And you're not wrong about calling it an ancient science. It is. It's one of the oldest sciences that we have. 4,000-year-old science. All right? Some of them estimate 5,000 years, but let's be conservative. 4,000 years. For human beings to continue doing something for 4,000 years, there has to be some sort of truth behind it. Right? That's one of the big things for me as well. It's like we've been learning that this stuff is good. And not only now, technically, is our modern science catching up with what we've known for 4,000 years. That when you practice yoga, and like I'm literally serious about the modern science thing, we do this thing called epigenetic markers testing, right? So they take a swab of the inside of your mouth, and then they analyze that swab. And then they look for certain biomarkers in your DNA. You have this thing called methylization of your DNA. So you have your base pair, and then you have these methyl groups that attach to the outside of your DNA. And depending on where they attach, they can upregulate or downregulate certain gene expressions. And that methylization can be very clearly depicted in panels. And then when you practice yoga, they've like done studies on this. When you practice yoga, literally you can see those panels downregulate all of the bad stuff, all of the cortisol, all of the, senescent cell buildup, all of the lack of rejuvenation, cell division, fractals. Like literally all of that bad stuff gets downregulated and all of the good stuff get upregulated. Like it's magic. Like it's magic 332, And it's very stark to kind of like see those studies, for yourself. There's a lot of other stuff with our DNA that we don't understand as well. And when I did my teacher training, they really went into depth talking about that kind of stuff. Part of me wonders if I want to dive deeper into it. Let me know. Would you like to know more? If yes, say yes. If no, say no. That way I can dive deeper with you friends. You on your way to go gym?
I'm going to go do some Pilates.
I thought you said it's later.
Yeah, I gotta drive there. It's 6:15.
No?
Oh, God.
Yeah, thank you.
I thought it was fucking 5.
That's good thing I talked to you.
Yo,
Otherwise, you would have
it'll be
been
an hour there.
chilling there. You want to sit with me?
Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I got up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Might as well. Oh my God, my old bones.
Yeah, we did go and do some hot yoga yesterday, some twisty. Sit though, sit lekker.
Ja.
Wees gemakkelijk.
Oh.
Here's Christian. I just got asked, what do I think about the ancient science of yoga? And then I told them, he's the one who got me into yoga.
I'm not gonna pretend to know what the fuck it's all about. I'm not gonna say I've read up on the history or done my research on it. I just practiced it.
I think
and it did me good.
You would actually appreciate becoming a teacher too, bro. Like the amount of information you gain adds a lot of perspective. Sam says or asks, let's see, the ethics and restraints, yams and niyamas, yeah, and how to live the life Jesus, Buddha, and so many other teachers showed us. Yoga works because it's how we were meant to care for ourselves. I do like that sentiment, Sam. The way that I see yoga is that it's literally a kind of language that you speak with yourself.
It's a physical meditation. I often call it that.
That's a good one.
Instead of just sitting in place and letting your thoughts do the stuff, you're letting your body do the stuff, which impacts your thoughts.
Exactly.
So, especially what I really enjoy about yoga is when you're fucking pushing yourself, right? And you've mentioned this before, you used to be a big gym guy, used to think yoga is for pussies, that's for if you want to do the weak shit.
Easy stuff.
And then there's that self-reflective ego of knowing you were there at some point, looking at these people going shit's easy. And then you get yourself in that situation where you are actually fucking dying. You're shaking so hard, your sweat is pouring down your face.
Leg back, grabbing stuff yesterday.
Arch your back.
Yeah, that stuff killed me a little bit yesterday.
And you're there in those moments you have to find so much, as even in lift weighting, I mean, you have to find so much inner strength to keep on going. The point being is that it does develop greater confidence, besides just your bodily health.
And an intuition for what you're capable of as well, I feel. That's the thing that
It humbles.
He showed me
a lot.
With my first practice, he could do stuff that I didn't know I could even try to do, And I was looking at this guy doing stuff that I thought I should be strong enough to do, but I couldn't. And I was I have a lot to learn. And my level of flexibility these days, you've seen as well, bro. I'm way better off than I used to be. Amy says, love language for the self, exactly. What I love about yoga is when you're pushing yourself. Wait, what? Pushing? What happens to your breath when you start
Well, that's
straining?
the trick, ain't it? It's easy to control your breath work if you're not pushing yourself. It's when you push yourself that the breath work starts to matter a lot more.
Yeah. It's you almost have to use that as your anchor point, for example, when you're doing yin yoga and you're extending your hamstrings, right? Suddenly you go,
it was actually,
and you have to.
Yeah, it was one of the first things I noticed. So Dylan was my major guru. Dylan and Patrick Beach and Ashley Galvin, all of which I followed on Alo Moves. And one of the first things I realized about Dylan is when I fucking immediately joined his more advanced classes when I started off, which was a huge mistake. Yeah. But it immediately humbled me in that moment as well, where it was I'm seeing this dude push himself off the ground and lift his legs in an L and then lift them up, and he does so while calmly telling you how to do it.
Cues.
With
so much
you can
ease.
Hear his microphone is here and you can hear him go. Meanwhile I'm going
gut punch.
So much pain and exhaustion and misery and feeling like you're a piece of shit. And another thing Patrick Beach said in his push-up class where you do like over 200 push-ups
in
in
15
just about
minutes.
40
Yeah.
minutes, 40,
40
45 minutes.
minutes.
Yeah,
Oh,
around
okay.
about like 40 minutes. This is like interspersed
Oh, yeah,
between
yeah,
doing abs
yeah.
and other leg stuff and like shrimp
I think we've
squats.
done one of those classes together, and it's like
Yeah.
your arms feel like they want to fall off your body afterwards. Like,
And he says like in this class you're going to learn the difference between pushing yourself and killing yourself.
I want to show them what we're talking about.
Dylan Warner.
Dylan Werner, like handstand. Let's see. Uh, Nancy is like that leg movement sounds like gymnastic maneuvers. I mean,
I don't think it's as crazy as gymnastics. Gymnastics is like also pretty. Yeah, that's Dylan.
just like the level of strength that this guy exhibits. It's like you're like, oh, how do you do that?
That's one of my favorite, dude.
So
It looks like a
sick looking,
freaking sculpture.
right?
Dude,
Yeah,
his back is almost like
this dude is on a
fucking
level.
30 degrees, you know?
Yeah, no, inspirationers, very inspire. Yeah, I told Christian, I saw someone this weekend also do like a handstand into pushing himself up on his feet. And then as soon as his feet touch the ground, he hoists his leg behind him, throwing a backflip, lands on his feet again. I was like, oh, Christian is like, sorry for breathing your air, sir. Oh, love is true. What you're doing when you're doing yin yoga, this must be about health. This must be after hell freezes over. But for real, doesn't pushing the self like that increase the risk of injury? My practice has always been gentle, so I'm curious. Again, it's like, for me, the way that I see it, Sam, is that there's a certain level of, again, intuition you have to like learn with yourself. So starting with gentle yoga, that's where you start, right? Like finding in your own body what you're capable of.
The difference between
And
pushing yourself and
exactly.
killing yourself.
And then there's something that's called the edge, right? You can only start pushing your edge after you found your edge. All right, so you do the gentle stuff, and then you're like, oh, my lower back is a little bit tight like this. Oh, this hamstring is a little bit tight
like
like
if
this.
you feel like your back is about to snap, it probably will. But
Be mindful.
if you feel like you can push it a little bit further, I mean, obviously push it.
Like, and that's the thing with yoga as well, and people don't realize this. Some of your flexibility actually comes from your ability to bring yourself back, right? So your muscles and your tendons and your fascia fascia has this intuition and intelligence into it as well, right? And when you start pushing yourself into a place that you haven't been before, kind of thing, it pulls you back, literally. It's like, come here, you can't go there. But technically, your body might still actually be capable of that. And then when you keep finding that edge and you push yourself deeper and deeper into it, your body starts to learn what you're capable of. And then you almost like explore more of your own body, right? And you find a little bit more comfort in your practice. And again, flexibility is one of the most important things, like longevity markers that you have. Like you get
one of the major things that is a sign of aging is your tendons and your joints start like
constricting
condensing and
yeah,
constricting and pulling.
and then
tighter
that's where
and
you see
tighter.
the old ladies hunched over.
Yeah, your back doesn't have the mobility it once did. And mobility is also a major one in combination with flexibility. Dylan also has some incredible mobility classes where, in conjunction with the flexibility, you are doing repeating motions that seem unnatural, but are actually really good for lubricating your joints, loosening them up, and making it applicable to everyday life. So, if you ever need to squeeze through a keyhole or something.
People thinking that yoga is putting yourself in pretzel positions, like you only put yourself in those pretzel positions to, again, push your edge. It's like when you have like found comfort in your normal way of moving, you explore your own body, right? You learn, you get to know yourself, kind of thing. We have someone called L. Bback saying, in the shower I use activated charcoal gel cleanser with a honey almond scrub in the favor. Okay. Good. It sounds nice. Sounds very natural. I don't think I have that natural of a scrub, but I have been using just straight like beef fat soap, and I feel like it has been significantly better for me than the other stuff that I've been using before. I even wash my hair with it these days, and
I don't shower at all.
yeah,
Uh,
he
but
has
I hear it's bad for you.
like weirdly
it
enough.
rinses off all the microbiomes on your skin.
I don't know if your friends have been able to see them, but we have these flowers blooming around me, so it smells incredible here. And I almost like complimented you for a second. I was like, you still smell great, and I was like, no,
No, this place has always smelled good, especially after a little bit of rain. I do like the setup we got going on here. The garden is very cute. We used to have such beautiful trees as well, but they were cut down because of the electric fence. Much sad.
Yeah, people with their standards.
And our neighbors as well, bro. The leopard tree here, we used to have this massive, gorgeous leopard tree. And the neighbors were complaining that the seeds kept like falling into their gutter. They were like, "It's raining the fucking tree. We gotta clean our gutters. We don't want to clean our gutters."
Clean your gutters every now and then. Like
Nope.
people
They don't
killing
want to clean their
trees.
gutters, bro.
I would rather kill this tree. To
Yeah,
solve my
rather
problem.
kill our gorgeous fucking tree.
I don't actually know what a leopard tree looks like, bro. Let me go check
I
out.
have some here.
Leopard tree.
Leopardi.
Oh, one day it'll be good, but
Your
right
enunciation
now
needs work.
it's trash. Oh,
Yeah, it's a
Yossi,
leopard tree.
dude, these are beautiful trees.
No.
I want to find a good one. This is a good one.
Exactly that.
The gutters,
The seeds were like this big.
The best part, the person who complained isn't living here anymore. Like 2 people over probably isn't living here anymore as well. So they had them kill a tree and then moved out, Oh wait, thanks for killing the tree. Now also
Can you imagine?
leaving.
And then they fucking left.
Yeah. When exactly do you want to leave, you say? It's 5, almost going on 5 right now.
5:45.
Quarter to 6.
Or 20 to 6.
I'm going to be cooking something tonight as well.
What you cooking?
Like I have some mince out, so maybe some mince and noodle.
Oh, mine
I don't
sounds
know if
good.
there's anything else that you're thinking.
Rice.
Mince
Spaghetti.
and rice. Maybe I can do rice as well.
We got potatoes, mashed potatoes. There's an option.
There's a few. I mean, maybe the potatoes would be a good idea. We have been eating a lot of starchy carbs as of late. But it was nice actually going to the gym with Christian yesterday. We ended up doing sauna. Holy shit.
Yo,
That sauna. I think it
I
was.
told you it was heavy.
I think it
bro.
was like literally 70 plus degrees Celsius in there, dude. Like it was so hot. I took my water bottle in there with me, and it's made of metal on the outside. I could not touch this thing with my bare hands. I had to like literally with my finger, like get this freaking strap up to just carry my bottle out of there. And there was this.
I was trying so hard to concentrate on like not dying.
Just
from
like,
the heat,
bro,
and this
like
other
you
gentleman.
inhale and like
Yeah.
it scorches your nose, and then you're like, maybe I'll try through my mouth, and then it scorches your mouth, and then this other dude, he was just like, he was there before we even got inside, and he was just chatting with every single person that comes inside, and we were like, trying
He
to
had
listen.
some opinions that I wanted to debate, but I just didn't have the capacity to do so under like 70
That
degrees
environment,
of heat
dude.
around me. Whew.
And then we had to like get the fuck out of there. And he's like still like the next person comes inside and he like it's up a conversation with him as well. It was kind of funny, but wholesome in its own way. Yeah, Christian says that he was like sitting on a lower level, so
Yeah. The top
we were like up,
bench is definitely
up
hot.
high, yeah. And like my entire skin, like literally like
I broke out in hives.
I looked like I was a leopard, but my freaking spots were red.
We were supposed to take an ice bath.
Yeah, but it wasn't cold enough. It was like
One of them was shut down for repairs or something.
14 degrees Celsius bath.
The other one looked kind of milky, murky, kind of sus.
Yeah, because there's only one, and I don't think everybody had the courtesy of like rinsing themselves.
I'm
before
actually
they got in.
surprised, you'd think like Heritage Day, most people would be fucking back home braaiing or something, but there was a shit ton of
There
people
was
at
a
the
lot
gym.
of people, yeah, like at least 200. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh,
though.
real. It was a good time to go exercise. So the South African populace is very healthy if you...
And on average, 100%. I think there is like some outliers that don't take good care of themselves, but there definitely is a kick that I'm seeing, especially in the young people where they're like, you know what? I need to start taking better care of myself. I think you know why, and this is maybe like a hot take, but because our medical industry is so cocky.
Yeah, it really is so bad.
Yeah,
here.
we have to
So
take good
bad.
care of ourselves because we don't have the luxury of having a doctor step in for you when things fall apart. It's like you might be in a waiting line for weeks before you can get help, kind of
Not, it's
thing.
not necessarily a waiting line. More like the procedure that'll be done on you might not be up to par.
That also, yeah,
Let's operate on your liver. That's not my liver.
bro. The stories, horror stories of like people leaving tools, like leaving
Yeah,
scissors inside
yeah, yeah,
people's bodies
yeah.
and stuff. It's
You
like,
get the fucking
how even?
suturing needles in you.
Yeah. He also had his wisdom teeth removed this
Well,
year.
one wisdom tooth.
You only had one?
Just one.
You didn't have
That
to?
was enough, eh? I didn't want more. No, it was only one giving me problems. Um, it's called pericoronitis when it starts bumping into your other
Pushes the
teeth
teeth, yeah.
from the back.
I had that too.
And it like gave me headaches and my breath
Mhm.
stank and it hurt. It was
Dude,
uncomfortable and I thought it was gonna like move up
actually
like
start,
this, you know?
yeah.
But it was genuinely like up under the other one like this and pushing that way. So I went to the doc and he showed me the X-ray and I'm like, nah, that motherfucker's got to get out. That motherfucker's got to go.
He's gonna cause problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they told me like they might as well take out both of mine. And I think they took out these two. Both of them at the bottom. I didn't have at the top. And it was also a fractal of like, as he says, extreme, excruciating pain, where it's just like
Discomfort.
somebody is actively like firing a heat laser into your like from here into your brain.
Did they have to break one of yours in half?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So my top two grew out fine. My bottom left doesn't exist, just never formed. And then this one they had to fucking snap in half.
Oh, talk about they actually took out my top two as well. I forgot because they told me that those top two are gonna continue growing in search of my bottom teeth. And yeah, you don't want that to happen.
Huh.
Again, maybe you'll just
If that
have it
happens,
taken
if that
out.
happens.
Like for what it's worth, I saw a recent study that actually now they have stem cells in your wisdom teeth that can help, like mitochondrial health later down the line as well. So
Sick.
when you
I
do
got
have
two of them,
yeah,
so if
when
I
you
need
do
them-
remove them, you can like get some gene information out
Make
of them.
me 10
bro.
years younger again. You're gonna see me like a couple of years down the line and be like, bro, do you even age?
I'm gonna have to like figure something out.
fucked, bro.
Christian has genes on me that
You're
I don't
fucked.
have. He got that dragon genes. Yeah, what a fractal. We've already been basically streaming for an hour. Technically, it's been 50 minutes on that marker. Let me know if you have anything else that you would like to discuss. Today's stream topic has been about letting things be as they are. I started reading this book called The Surrender Experiment. And the author of it basically advocates for. He starts the book by telling you, hey, bro, it's been 13.8 billion years of lifing. When a cell gets germinate or when a cell gets fertilized, it grows into a whole human being. When like millions of years pass and rain gets moved and rainforests grow and seeds fall to the ground and freaking massive redwood oak trees or redwood trees, like the size of freaking skyscrapers just grow on their own. Who are you? Who are you to think you have any control whatsoever over what reality is doing? Like, who are you to have a will that's like, oh, I'm gonna go camping. It shouldn't rain. And I like really I've been resonating with this book. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get where you're coming from. And he basically advocates for finding genuine happiness in the way things are.
That's very Tao.
Yeah, not just when things go your way, but also when things don't go your way, and to see it as, divine intervention that billions of years.
It's tough to balance that and the will to power.
He
which is like
actually,
Nietzsche's
yeah, I
take.
was about to say he doesn't advocate for you not having a will of your own. He just advocates for you still finding a certain
Peace,
sense of
no
satisfaction
matter
and
the
peace.
outcome.
Exactly.
That's tough
yeah,
to do,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's a big ask.
I mean, he's a billionaire. He
Of course
yeah
he is.
sold his company for $1 billion. I mean, he wasn't a billionaire when he started. Like when he wrote the book, he was a 60-year-old man, and like
60.
yeah, he like did start the process with essentially nothing, living in the forest, and he like built himself a community, and like the fractal unfolds, where as soon as he started actually surrendering to life instead of trying to only control the experience that he was going through, suddenly there was more abundance in his life, right? Like, again, the amount of abundance that's around us at all times is unfathomable.
That's the thing is, it's nice and fun to listen to the success stories. There are a whole lot of failure stories as well.
It's true. It's true. But he actually does preface the book as well with talking about that humans do have the unique ability to learn from one another, right? And like those are the kind of people you want to learn from. You don't want to learn from the negative stories, do you? I mean, you can learn
There's a
how to
lot to
not.
learn from them.
You can learn how to not exactly, but you don't really want to apply what they've done in their lives necessarily, right? I'm not
You
going to
can
take it
apply
to
what the
heart.
billionaires have done in their lives as well, and it might not even bring you remotely close.
I don't have to be a billionaire as well. I've like said this a few times in the stream. You know, like
Just a millionaire.
a millionaire is fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine.
just a
I
millionaire.
just need some million. You know, like I feel again the amount of money people think they need in order to live a happy life is way lower than you actually might consider. I was having this conversation with him, I think like 2 days ago, about this couple that I met at the festival called Ethan and Sam. And they now have two children. And the very first time that I met them, they had a 9-year-old baby, right, that they had at the festival. And already this baby was like switched on. Like I could see him making eye contact and like actually connecting with like the entities in this environment with him.
I gotta go make some phone calls.
And there was this fractal aware of like almost like awareness that I felt come into my experience having this little entity there with me, you know, in that environment. And there was a few conversations had with Ethan as well about the difficulties that come with having a child, right? And being a father and trying to provide for these entities that you've brought into this life thing. And despite the fact that by all traditional measures of wealth, they are not, they still find a way to feed their children, to feed themselves, to find themselves at these events. They also have like little stalls. Sam makes soaps and bath bombs. I bought some of her bath salts and some of her soaps. And it's nice to support them, right? Ethan is the friend who gave me that drum, right, at that festival. To the friends who know some of the MeltMore, he's that entity. Hey, Jacob. Jacob Sternland, remember me. You'll have to give me something to remember, homie. Maybe you'll have to join me back to back a few times. But Jacob is a pretty memorable name. I won't just easily forget, I'm sure. It was nice having you friends here for a moment. I missed reading 2 of the poems to you friends, so I think I'll do so. I'll read you the day before yesterday's. And yesterday's. Does that sound good? Yeah. It is now so. All right. And okay. Let me bring you a little bit closer. GBs, my arm is sore. Doesn't feel great. Yeah. Yeah. Getting vaccinated. Gevaccinaties. Vaccinering. I did show it yesterday, but I'll show it again. Just because I really like the way this one looks. Makes me happy. You are cool. Thanks. I try really hard, Jacob. When I was a 14-year-old, I would Google how to be cool. And then I extensively watched videos and I read articles and I read books about how to be cool. And guess what? It didn't help. I was still wildly unpopular. And then only when I actually really became comfortable with being myself, people started considering me cool. which is very counterintuitive, right? The harder you try to be cool, the less likely you are to be perceived as such. Be comfortable in your own skin and you will exude whatever people think is cool. I still don't know what cool is, to be honest, but I appreciate you, friend, for thinking me such. Yeah, see, this is making me happy. The more I look at these things, I'm like, oh, wow, what's happening in there? And this is yesterday's. This is a cool one, man. It is cool, right, Sam? It really is cool. I like the detail inside the detail. Yeah, as soon as you get close, you're like, wait a second. Wait a second, there are things happening there? Like, back to this one, right? Like these textures, these little, so cool. Right, from afar, it's like, oh yeah, spot of blue. And then when you get close, you'll be like, wait a second. That blue knows things. Wow, you like that? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Lend me your eyes so I can show them pretty things. Lend me your ears so I can tell you that I love you and you are beautiful. Lend me your feelings so I can make you feel hope, that we still have much to look forward to. Lend me your strength so that we can climb higher together. This is yesterday's. Some tri-flower. Also has some texturies, but I did some things to this one. I did some things. This one got did it. Isn't that something? All right. Now that I've shown you some pretty things, I'll read you some poetry. Sound good to you? I suddenly noticed something and I'm like, Oh, it's nippy. It's been overcast all day, so it's not hot. Fear wants your power. Did you know that? Fear wants your power. Fear wants you to think fearfully. And the more fearfully you think, the more powerful it becomes and the less powerful you are. I leave for a little while and I come back and it's the end of stream. That's how it happens, Nancy. An hour has passed. It's nice to have you here, though. You know, I do have a catalog. And I will show up again tomorrow. You know, that way at least you know that even if you miss today's stream, you can be here again tomorrow. And then if you miss tomorrow's, then you can join the next days. And then if you miss that day, you can join the day after that. All right, that's the one promise that I've made you. That's what we show up for. I want to get these printed on ceramic tile so I can decorate with them. My kitchen is gray and white and it needs colors. Sam, dear friend, I don't know if you know this, but in Italy, they actually have a practice. Let me show you. Hey Google, show me Italian mandala kitchen tiles. Joe on stream tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah, Mojo.
Here are some Italian mandala kitchen tiles. Actually, hold on, let me start again. Here are some Italian mandala kitchen tiles.
Why did it tell me to hold on so it can try again? That's so strange. It just said the same thing over again as well. Holy, I almost cursed in 2 languages. Why is it so expensive? So these are what the Italian tiles look like, Sam. But I would totally do that. I don't know if you saw the price. You are my inspection. I don't know what that means, homie. Inspiration? Maybe inspiration. Probably. I'll be your inspiration. Thanks. Suddenly I'm like, oh, yes. Stop being inspired by me. $262. for 15 by 15 centimeters. Like that. 15 by 15 centimeters, $260, Sam. I'll do a half price. The price is backwards. It's 200 something euros. Yeah, this is Daras. This is in Daras. $262 for the small ones. 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters is $330. You don't have to apologize to me, Jacob. I got you. Yeah. I wonder. Let me see. Is there a company that allows me to print my own designs on ceramic tiles? Digital tile printing. Yeah. CTM South Africa. Personalized ceramic tiles for 40 Rand a pop. I don't know if it's going to be good. And like the reference images they show you give me extreme brain damage because it's a grandma, AI grandma running from cocks. I'm sorry. I don't know why I chose to use that word. I just think because that's the way that it registers. It's like, oh yes, this grandma with 4 fingers. Most of them she has 5 fingers at least. 40 Rand is not bad though. That's $2, Sam. $2 a pop. But you have to do 10. Ceramic coated stoneware tiles. Ceramic tiles. So, yeah. Can be printed with your own high resolution photographs or artworks. Can be done. $2 a pop, Sam. I'll happily give you the files. You can make something happen. All right, now poetry time. Fear wants your power. Fear is a musician. Cheap tricks, quick flicks, selling your nightmares. 2 for 1. It whispers, believe me. And suddenly you do, in shadows that never arise, in monsters that never call your name. Faith whispers too, same volume, but instead of a cage, it hands you a horizon. A whole map of maybes where the ink glows gold. See the choices. Both ask you to trust what you cannot see, but fear builds walls while faith grows wings. Fear's currency is your attention. Stop paying it. Hold your hours like treasure. Spend them on joy, on love, on the dance only you can do. And those old grooves, the stuck patterns, the endless reruns, they crack the moment you laugh. The instant you step left when fear says right. You lift the needle, spin a new song, and the silence breaks into music. Fear is bold, yes, but only borrowed bold. It drinks from your cup, take it back, and fear evaporates like smoke in sunlight. So here's the truth. You don't own fear. You don't owe fear a thing. Not your power, not your minutes, not your heart. Put your faith in the light instead, in the unseen good, in the future still warming up backstage. And watch fear bow out, empty-handed, while you take the standing ovation. Not one of the best ones, admittedly, but the message is true. It's true. Don't let fear get the best of you, please. Like, actually, I'm asking, please, don't. You're worth more than that. That would look cool on a tile. It would. Maybe like some 2 2s on the bottom line to some higher geometry ones in the middle. I would even like do 2s and then 3s and then 4s and then 5s and then a 6 in the middle or something like that. You know, I could get creative with it. Yesterday we talked about ripples. And it goes as such. A word spoken, even when unheard, unfurls like breath on water. A flick of the hand, a draft stirred in the air, and suddenly I am lifted, swooping, weightless, a ripple in the sky. We do not vanish. Every glance, every tremor of laughter, every hesitation echoes outwards into the festival of life, where strangers dance to songs they cannot name, but still they move because of us. Family distracted, yet somewhere their silence carries my hello like smoke, curling, dispersing, setting in corners of memory. And the ripples go on, into tomorrow, into children not yet born, into the secret places of air where drafts remember the flick. We are not here to impress, but to express, to leave wakes of love and truth across the still pool of being. Forever, the water moves with us. I appreciate you, friends, as water, for moving with me. It's nice to have you friends here again. I'll see you soon. Appreciate you for joining me. Nice, Mel. Thank you, Nancy. I don't know if you were here for yesterday's stream, but it was inspired by a dream that I had. It was a wild one. Oh, we're done. Nice. Thank you, friends, for finding the time. This arm is feeling it, yeah. It really does have that vaccine arm. I appreciate you joining me. It was nice having you here again. I'll see you. I'm sorry, I don't know. I just started like, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me today. Goodbye now. Be good to yourself. Be good to those around you as well. Get better soon, Mojo friend. I love you. Until we do it again. Goodbye, everybody. Cheers.